There are no nails, there is no cement. Yet, this building has stood for decades in an area surrounded by volcanoes and prone to earthquakes. How is that possible? In the highlands of Parangpanjang, a place holds the answer. This is Pusat Dokumentasi dan Informasi Kebudayaan Minangkabau, or PDIKM, a home for Minangkabau cultural heritage. The answer lies in its pillars and windows, which were deliberately designed not to be perfectly straight. Even its roof takes the shape of buffalo horns, known as bagonjong, a distinctive feature of Minangkabau architecture not found in other regions.
Didirikan tiangnya miring atau jendelanya juga miring, ini tahan dari gempa. Karena daerah kita banyak gunung Merapi, daerah kita rawan dengan gempa. Makanya dibuatlah rumah gadang ini miring dan tidak dipaku ke sistem pasak. Jadi kalau terjadi gempa atau goncangan, di atas saling menahan, yang langsung ikut mengikuti gerakan gempa, elastis dan fleksibel.
This area consists of two types of rumah gadang. The main building, which serves as the documentation center, comes from the Kota Piliang lineage, characterized by rest section on the left and right. Another is the Bodhi Caniago rumah gadang, with a flatter form, along with several rangkaiang traditional rice barns that are a distinctive complement to every rumah gadang. This place too has a story of its own, one that starts with a simple question: why should learning one's own tradition require a journey as far as Jakarta or even the Netherlands?
Pusat Dokumentasi dan Informasi Kebudayaan Minangkabau itu didirikan oleh almarhum keluarga Bapak Bustani Arifin, Menteri Koperasi dulu. Beliau putra daerah Kota Parangpanjang. Kenapa tercetus ide untuk mendirikan pusat dokumentasi? Karena sebelum ini orang Minang mempelajari adat sendiri membutuhkan waktu dan biaya yang sangat besar. Karena literatur mengenai adat Minangkabau banyak di Arsip Nasional, Perpustakaan Nasional Jakarta, juga di Leiden di Belanda. Makanya almarhum kumpulkan literaturnya, wadahnya didirikan di Parangpanjang sebagai tanah kelahiran beliau.
It is no wonder that this place is also known as Bustanil Arifin Museum, a tribute to the figure who brought this place into existence. To the left of the main building stands Rumah Tabuah. Before loudspeaker existed, this small structure had its own way of delivering news throughout the village.
Rumah tabuh itu rumah informasi. Tabuh itu, kalau informasi misalnya di dalam rumah gadang, ada kematian, ada acara adat, itu ketukannya itu berbeda. Ada kesepakatan dalam satu kampung. Misalnya kita bunyikan ini 5 kali, ada itu tanda ada kematian. Cukup. Kalau sekarang kan enak. Di surau ada pemberitaan dari mikrofon. Kalau dulu kan nggak ada. Itulah yang diapakan. Jadi untuk informasi.
Today, it stands silent, while the world has found new ways to communicate. But not every voice from the past has disappeared. Some have instead been recorded, carefully preserved in thousands of pages. As a documentation center in the form of a library, PDKM's main collection consists of books, more than 3,000 titles. In several exhibition rooms, the walls are filled with historical photographs, some captioned in Dutch. Some of these documents were even kept for years far from their homeland, before eventually returning patch by patch to their place of origin. Among the collection at PDIKM, there is a special room that recreates the atmosphere of Minangkabau traditional wedding setting, complete with anak daro and marapulai wearing traditional wedding attire with sontiang gadang. a large headdress that is a distinctive feature of Minangkabau pride. The experience doesn't stop at simply observing. Visitors can rent traditional attire, complete with a suntiang, wear it, and take photographs in front of the rumah gadang. Taking home not only picture, but also a small experience of becoming part of Minangkabau culture. And if traditional attire can be worn, its sounds can also be played. Talempong and gendang kept here, traditional Minangkabau percussion instruments are not merely on display. Visitors, including children, can try playing them themselves. Medan Nan Bapaneh, an open stage for performance, is still actively used today. A place where Minangkabau music and dance come alive once again before an audience. Every day, PDKM welcomes around 50 to 60 visitors, from students to international tourists, most of them from Malaysia. The cultural roots of Minangkabau have indeed a rich Negeri Sembilan, carried by migrants centuries ago, and to this day, its language and tradition still share the same roots. Yet, among all those who come and go, there is one person who chose to stay. For Mrs. Suaita, who has devoted herself to this place since 1990, PDKM holds a meaning more personal than simply a job.
Tujuan berdiri pusat dokumentasi ini untuk membantu para siswa, mahasiswa dan umum mempelajari adab Minangkabau. Jadi harapannya untuk generasi yang muda, kita orang Minang sendiri mungkin nggak ada belajar tentang adat. Seperti ibu juga dulu nggak pernah juga belajar untuk dia kerja di sini kan. Belajarlah tentang adat, nanti datanglah ke pusat dokumentasi dan tercapailah tujuan dari almarhum Pak Bustani Arifin mendirikan pusat dokumentasi ini.
PDKM is not merely a place that preserves the past. It is a reminder that our culture will survive only as long as there are people willing to preserve it. One story, one object at a time.